It's a 1 week after the competition and your emotions are all over the place. How is it that you were feeling on top of the world on that glorious day on stage, and now the world is various shades of gray? You feel bloated and fat, you feel lost, and your inner critic? Out of control. In other words, you're experiencing the post-show blues. Now, it's important to know that you are not alone in this. In fact, most, if not all, competitors around the world experience these same feelings right after a show. And it's happened to me after every show. So if you feel like all the work that you've done over the last several months is all gone in 1 week, absolutely common. So what I want to do today is share the first of 4 problem areas that pop up with post-show blues, and more importantly, give you a process that you can go through to minimize these issues, take back your life. Oh, and while you're thinking about it, please go ahead and give this video a like. Hey, you did it! You made it through all the prep, the pounding in the gym, the missed social events, the food weighing and measuring, and then came the day that you got to walk onto the stage, and it was amazing, right? The high buzzing energy of everyone around you, I love that. And the smell of the spray tan, I love that too. I know, I'm weird. The feel of the stage under your feet, the lights, the cheering crowd, and that overwhelming sense of accomplishment of finally being up there in front of everyone and showcasing all that you've worked for. Man, it's addicting. So you leave totally high on life, go out and celebrate and eat, go get some much needed rest, and then get back to your life, right? Well, maybe not quite. What I want to talk about is what happens after the show on an emotional level, and specifically what's referred to as the post-show blues. Now, before I get into the process of identifying the problem areas and some solutions that I have found to really work, I want to answer the question of why it even happens to begin with. And, there's several things going on, but one factor is a quick drop in neurotransmitters. Okay, so I'm sure you've all heard about the uplifting effects of dopamine and serotonin. We get hits of these all day long from social media. To quote an article on tnation.com, dopamine is intensely triggered by the competitive mindset that comes with a bodybuilding prep and is released in large amounts when you get in the zone. So basically, when the competition is over, you don't have the same amount of happy drugs circulating in your system, and then that leads to a more depressed state. And serotonin does essentially the same thing. It decreases anxiety and the perception of pain. So just from a chemical standpoint, it totally makes sense why you feel this way. Now, the other reasons for getting the blues after the show are psychological, and those are the ones that we can affect. So let's get started. Number 1, let's talk about identity. For the last several months, you've been wrapped up in food prep, workout progression, bulking, cutting, posing, picking out a suit, fretting over how you look, wondering if you're going to be ready in time, checking in with your coach. Being a competitor has been your identity for quite some time, and now that role is fulfilled and temporarily removed. So think about it. Prepping has been your life up until this show, right? So when it's over, it's natural that you're going to feel a little unsure and kind of be like, I don't know exactly what to do now. I don't know exactly what to do now with all of my time that I have freed up from what was really focused on prep before, right? So let's look at some identity modification to help you ease that transition back into your, quote, normal life. Now, you're still going to identify as a competitor. It just doesn't need to be in the number 1 or 2 slot anymore. So the biggest shift that I would like to encourage is into a healthy mindset. And what does that mean? Healthy versus lean, ripped competitor, okay? Because we've focused so long on what our bodies have to look like on stage. And we know that we can't stay in that physical space to be healthy. So I'd like you to take a look at what other areas of your life could benefit from a renewed focus. Now, there are probably areas that took a back seat while you're in prep mode, right? Think about what else brings you joy. And this really is a perfect time to reassess and add things back into your life with intention. I know this show is important to you, but what are the other things that are in your life? Being a mom, being a partner, are there projects that you've been wanting to work on? Maybe there's a cause that you've been wanting to contribute to. So think about adding some of these things back in and reprioritizing, because having these options will immensely help you to keep from wallowing in a post-show depression. So your takeaway from section 1 of the Post-Show Blues series: when you feel like you lose your identity after a show, move into a mindset of what a healthy, goal-driven woman that you are, and develop an identity that feels good and moves you through this time of transition. Be sure to watch for the next 3 videos where I talk about feeling lost, body image, and self-talk, and give you some easy, workable solutions. And go ahead and take some notes from today so that you can turn some of these ideas into habits that will affect every area of your life. Be strong in your journey. Know that these things we talked about today, they are normal, okay? Also, you want to counter those thoughts that don't serve you actively. You will have to work on that, okay? And seek out support from others who will uplift you. And you can always reach out to me too. Thank you guys so much for watching today. I do hope you found this helpful. Please write your insights in the comments below. I would love to continue this conversation. And I'll see you next week for part 2 of the Post-Show Blues series.